Like you don't like new music, or you choose not to
I
listen
just
to
don't
it.
listen to it. I don't care anymore. My brain's full of enough songs.
Is that how you feel, Victoria?
I don't care anymore.
Well, I also feel like music dating sucks because there's no poetry to it.
Right.
And,
Like what would be some because you hear music, you hear a lot of quote hip music from the youngsters,
You sounded really hip when you said that too.
the youngsters that I'm accused of dating.
Hello, fellow kids. Hello, fellow kids.
Yes. So what do you think of those? Like what would be something new that you would think this is actually good? This is actually good music. Cause I love music. I really do love music, and I love music from all genres. And as Jeremiah, I listen to music quite often that I'm sure that Jeremiah doesn't like, but it's usually for a purpose. So I'm curious, what do you think? Because you hear a lot of diverse music that maybe Jeremiah might not hear, and a lot of the audience might not hear.
yeah, that's an excellent question, Adam. And my response would be pass.
Pass.
Yes.
I mean, I do listen to brand new music, and I listen to a lot of different genres. For example, Michelle says she loves "Down in a Hole" by Alice in Chains. Now, I hate to say this, Michelle, but that's typically a band that Jeremiah and I skip when we play Tecmo. Nothing against Alice in Chains, but we do typically skip them. I mean, don't we?
We go for the upbeat song.
That's true. But typically, like I had told Blanket Scarf on multiple occasions, and Jeremiah knows as well, for me, and it might be different from you all, so I want you all to chime in as well, is that different music for me enhances different things. Like if I'm writing something, I'll listen to music that kind of fits what I think that I'm writing. If I write the Amos sketches, I'm not listening to somber, downtrodden music. I'm listening to more 80s or maybe 70s upbeat or maybe goofy or so. So if I'm writing Damaged People, I'm listening to stuff probably people I haven't heard of because and I'm boring Blanket Scarf over here because she's yawning like nobody's business.
Yeah, man.
Okay, if you've never wanted to punch Adam in the throat before, let me tell you what that feels like.
Well, I will say this: I have
Snowing now?
been punched multiple times.
Who's been punched in the throat?
I've been punched on the side of the head,
In the throat.
Not in-
Directly in the throat.
not directly in.
Directly in your Adam's apple, Adam.
No, not directly in the throat. But I have been kneed in the balls this past weekend or this past week, and that was
That was weak. I'm gonna tell you that.
weak.
Yeah,
Weak.
yeah.
That wasn't weak.
It was weak.
It didn't feel weak at all. It didn't feel weak. Let me ask Jeremiah this though. Did you know or did you not know
The more I know.
that that happened? That was real
What happened?
when I was kneed in the balls?
Yeah.
You knew it was real?
Yeah.
How did you know it was real? Like when did you know it was
You hit that little pitch, and I was just
Yeah,
like,
there was a nice little chuckle afterwards.
and I was
I'll
like,
let you know you felt it.
and I was like, I felt that chuckle before.
It was still weak though.
that was
I
weak?
maintain that it was weak.
I don't
But, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like you were.
Well, the thought was we had kind of rehearsed.
Jeremiah feels the weak.
You had seen you had
No. It's like Eddie Murphy said in his what was it, Raw or whatever. He's
Mhm.
like he says, you don't understand. It's like you only have to even graze balls.
Oh yeah, I know.
And then he's like, wait, did that just? Oh yeah.
Well, the fact was that I honestly had not been hit down there in quite some time. It had been a while. The last person that had hit me in the balls was Terry, and she was trying to make some kind of a point. And I said, "You don't need to."
Point by hitting somebody.
I don't know. I don't recall. I can't recall. But that was the last time, and that was about 10 years ago. So I was a young lad. I was only about 18 at that
When you were
point.
10 years years overdue.
I was 18 at that point.
You're like,
She did it.
I
And,
don't know what this discussion was where that point it was made.
Well, I know one time there was a point where we were laying there and something was discussed, and she kicked me in the cheek, and she was like, "I want you to hit me. I want you to hit me." And I was like, "I'm not going to hit you. I don't."
That's a red flag.
Yeah, and this was like 5 years in, and I was like, "I don't. That's not who I am. I don't hit anyone really, much less women." But that being said, I can't give any qualms about that because she was a lovely young lady.
Anywho.
I forget there was a point in my story at first, but this effing Smirnoff has just led me down a path of it's getting more foggy and foggy as I'm speaking.
You know, I will say this. You were asking about favorite seasons